All right, folks, so I'm back and I cut a video a second ago to show you how to download Codeblocks. So we do need to go back and do a couple other things here, especially if you got the compiler error. Click there, we'll go to binary release. And sometimes you have problems finding your compiler, and that's pretty popular. So I'm going to go the Windows XP 10, Windows 10, excuse me. And then now what I want to do is I want to download the executable where my compiler to download my compiler. So I'm not sure what happened here when I install it, but I know this is a very popular problem with that students have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to download the compiler. It's kind of a big file too, 145 megs. So that means it's going to take a while to download and for my virus scan to run and all that. We'll minimize that. We'll find that installation file. There it is, it's safe. Norton picked it up, says it's okay. In my particular case, I download everything to my downloads file. And now I am going to run it. Actually, I want to show you something else. We want to run this as administrator. So right click on it, run as administrator. You might have a bad day if you don't do that. I can close that window out now. I'm not going to worry about that. Hit next. And this will take quite a long time. Make sure all these are checked. That's where it's going to download it to or install it to. You can hit OK, create that particular folder. All right, so now you should have a screen that popped up that looked like this. We're going to run Codeblocks now. And here we get our compiler error. So what we need to do now is we need to go out and we need to find our compiler. And this is perfectly normal. So come up here and go to Settings, Compiler. We should have GNU CCC. All right, and we need to hit Tool Chains Executable. And let's go back and see where that may be. If I recall, I installed that into my, let me see, where did I install that? If I recall, I installed that into my programs directory. Right here's Codeblocks, and here's MingGW. So we're going to select that back here. Let's go in there and find it. Program files, Codeblocks, MingGW, select folder, auto detect. And right there it is. That should be a good. Let's hit OK. Let's close this out. Let's bring up Codeblocks again, see if we get that error. Saw some nonsense going on over here. And I get that first error. So that does mean that my compiler is found and recognized now. But to double check that, what we can do is go back here to compiler. Codeblocks is open. Let's test it. And we're going to go create a new project. Console application. And this is going to be C. And we're just going to write hello world. Our compiler should come up there. It's pretty much autofills. Come over here to sources, main, and right there we have the standard hello world. So now what I want to do is I want to build that. Drop down here. I got no errors, so everything should be good. Now let's run it. And there we get hello world. So that tells us that everything was installed and our compiler is working correctly. So that's basically how to install your Codeblocks in your compiler. If you have any questions, you can send me an email. If you don't like this particular video, feel free to find another one. There are literally hundreds of these on the internet. It's why I get disappointed when students can't load their compilers. Unfortunately, students, it's just something you got to learn how to do, and you got to learn how to research. All right, you're going to find that as you continue on with this course, I really make you research, because I can spoon feed you, I can troubleshoot your code for you. Well, technically I'm not supposed to. You're supposed to know how to do that, because that's one of the objectives of this particular course. But if you're somebody that comes in and you think that you're going to take this course and you're going to work 30 minutes a week, I would suggest that you reconsider your career path, because you really need to learn from your mistakes. You can't reach out to the instructor every time you hit a wall. We do have tutorial labs that are out there for you. Feel free to call them. I will if you really get bound down, but there's some things that I expect from you. I expect to be able to see some type of a coding tool, whether it's IPO or a flowchart or pseudocode. I expect all your code when you send it to me to be commented, so that I know what you were thinking when you went to do it. A lot of times when students take the time to do pseudocode or a block diagram, user design tool, they'll find a lot of problems on their own. But just don't send me some code and expect me to troubleshoot it for you, because that's part of the course. And the other thing is I'm going to know if you spent time researching it, and I really get frustrated when people just send me some sloppy code and they say, well, it didn't work. Coding is a skill. Like if you let's say you build a birdhouse, the first couple times you might not get it exactly correct, but you're going to learn from your mistakes. That's why it's important you learn how to fix your own problems and learn how to research the errors that you get in your compiler. Hopefully that helps you. Now you know how to set up Codeblocks and know how to set up the main compiler. You're free to use whatever tool that you want to. I suggest you use Codeblocks, because it's very easy to set up and install. Thank you and have a good day.